Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is set to introduce many different twists and turns, as well as revelations in this film that will lead to saga-wide implications of the Skywalker saga by Disney and Lucasfilm. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, what's really interesting about Episode 9 is that we do know that this film is, of course, going to be a revelation film at the end of the day. It's going to take a lot of chances, and it's going to include a lot of challenges for our characters, such as Rey and Kylo, from start to finish of this movie that's really going to make them evolve as characters, which really does speak volumes because it tells us that JJ wants to do something very much unique and different, apart from The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens on top of all of that. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting for Episode 9. Now, specifically, what's really intriguing about all of this is that a description of a sequence in the first act of the film, where it's explained that Rey is on board of the Millennium Falcon with Poe and Finn, where they are all said to be inside of the Millennium Falcon. It said that they begin to play a hidden transmission that is activated by the droid called Dio, where the transmission of Han Solo is said to contain a message of him talking about Ben Solo, and how he is beginning to become very afraid of his son, and how he reminds him of Darth Vader. Now, additionally, it said that during a scene on the world of Pasaana, when they meet Leia's first contact, who is actually said to be Lando Calrissian, it's explained that Lando reveals to Rey and her crew that Han and Leia split apart because of Ben Solo's turn to the dark side, and that at one point in time, Han Solo nearly died, going on a death wish to attack the original First Order headquarters and its base with the Falcon itself, where he and Lando attempted to bring back his son Ben from Supreme Leader Snoke to try and convince Ben that he was sorry, and that at one point in time they had crossed paths about 6 months after his turn to the dark side, only for Han to never see him again as Kylo escaped with Snoke to a more secure location in the Outer Rim, where another hideout of the First Order took place. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, the thing about this that I think a lot of fans are going to enjoy is, of course, it involves Lando Calrissian talking about Ben Solo. Now, I don't know if you guys read some of the Han Solo books and novels out there that came out. I believe it was a little after Solo: A Star Wars Story, where it kind of talked a little bit about Ben Solo's childhood here and there. And it does establish that Kylo Ren / Ben grew up with Lando Calrissian. Basically, Lando was kind of like an uncle figure to Kylo Ren in a sense, because Lando Calrissian really was Han Solo's best friend apart from Luke Skywalker. So that's a very interesting side of the story, that the fact that, you had Lando and Han Solo going on a death wish on a mission to an unknown world that actually held a base, the original headquarters of the First Order, where their mission was to retrieve their son, or Han Solo's son I should say, Ben Solo, to try and convince him that he's actually sorry. And that to me sounds like a very emotional transmission that both Rey, Poe, and Finn are going to hear inside the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon. And I think the fact that they're trying to do this is because a way in order to create a bit of more emotion between father and son in The Rise of Skywalker that we didn't get so much in The Force Awakens that we will now be getting in Episode 9. It also aligns directly with exactly why there was dialogue that was done by Harrison Ford on set a couple of months ago during some of the reshoots for the second and third acts of the movie, and of course what was regularly done for the first act of Episode 9. So the other piece that I do want to go over is, of course, the other transmission, where Han Solo unveils in the actual recording that he has been afraid of his son for a very long time, even before he turned. He sensed something with Ben Solo. He saw his actions, he saw his attitude, and then he realized that there was a lot of Darth Vader within him. Now, what I like about that as well is that it kind of adds, I guess, a little bit more to that scene in The Force Awakens where Han is talking to Leia about how there's too much Vader in him, and pretty much that he lost his son forever. And that's what I like about this film, is that it's really all about family to that extent, where you have Han and Leia trying to get their son back from the darkness and bring them back to the light. And we do know that Han Solo has a couple of scenes in this movie. One of the big ones, of course, actually is said to take place inside, literally inside the Death Star 2 wreckage, where he appears in the form of a vision where Kylo Ren believes that he's a ghost. Doesn't say that he is a ghost, but he believes that he's a ghost. So that was, of course, created by Luke's Force Ghost, showing Kylo Ren the apparition of Han Solo, basically manipulating Kylo Ren's mind in order to create a vision of Han. This is basically Luke's very clever way of really kind of just turning Ben Solo from the dark to the light by use of a father, right? And in order to do that, it does also reflect on the Force Awakens, where, Leia said, Luke is a Jedi, you're his father. And that really is going to be the key to Episode 9 and Ben-Demption, is that it all has to do with Han Solo's vision of really turning Kylo Ren to the light side of the Force once more, and returning as Ben Solo to take down Palpatine once and for all by forming an alliance with Rey. So, anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.